is Sandy from Balloon Utopia and Market with Balloons, and today I'm going to show you how to make the whole light up glitter bubbles organic centerpiece thing. So we already saw how to make the glitter bubble, that's this, and you can see that the glitter's kind of moving around in here, so if you just want to like get it to stick a little bit more, you can like just rub it on your head. You see that totally works. Or you could, we're in a venue with carpet, so you could just kind of do it on the carpet, which worked really well as well, but then you guys wouldn't be able to see it. So that's why I'm doing it like this. We have here our lamp base with 3 pole sections. I want these to be pretty tall centerpieces. And let's see, I have here a piece of organic garland. So this one, you see that the balloons are all different sizes. We haven't put like extra balloons in it. We just we started with the bigger balloons in the center and then kind of built out on either side, going a little bit smaller to get a little bit of a taper effect. We also need a quad of extremely underinflated 11-inch. These are inflated to probably just about 5 inches. Let's just get that chrome balloon. There we go. So we get more chromey. So those are about 5-6 inches or so. I mean, basically you want it to just cover the base, but not to go out too much over. And then we also have a couple of 5-inch quads of random size. These are 5-inch balloons, just randomly sized. And then one quad of 5-inch balloons that are sized really, really, really tiny. Okay, other materials. We've got these rice lights, and they're remote controlled. So here you can see that they like can do different patterns and stuff like that. These are pretty cool. I got these off of Amazon actually. This centerpiece is it's a little bit of a complicated one, and it can be a little bit frustrating to put together. It's really kind of one that you have to like take your time with and do, you know, kind of step by step, especially when you're working with this with these rice lights. So just so that you guys can see them better, although it'll probably be a little bit distracting to me, I'm gonna go ahead and turn them on. And I'm just gonna put them on a steady glow so that you can see them. So here's a place where it can get a little bit grouchy, is you have to try to make sure that you know, kind of untangle it and unravel it without getting it like all weird and tangly and everything. So this is, you know, kind of a challenging thing, and this is kind of one of those places that it takes longer. So we're in the venue right now because these are very difficult to move around. So you really want to do this part of it in the venue. Now, the glitter bubbles you don't want to do in the venue because those are so messy. So you see I'm basically just kind of throwing this behind me so I can start. Okay, so now the next thing is that this first little piece right there, it's kind of sharp. We have some clear packing tape, and we're just going to take a little tiny piece, and we want to wrap that in there so that it's not going to pop our balloon, because that would really, really, really suck for that part to pop. Okay, now this is actually going to go on the bottom of the balloon. So on the bottom of the balloon, it's okay to go heavier with the tape because that will be hidden. Whereas, for example, right here, we're going to go up the seam, and right here you want to have like a little tiny piece of tape, like really, really, really tiny to hold that down. So I'm just going to take a little piece of tape. I'm like getting fingerprints all over it. I'm just going to put it there, and I'll just kind of cut off little tiny little pieces. That one, I don't want straighter pieces than that. Okay, so here we go. And this is air filled. It's very heavy. These bubbles are heavy. Okay, so just that tiny little piece of tape. You know, yes, it will be visible. The mechanics won't be completely hidden, but we're kind of counting on some willing suspension of disbelief here, that even though they might be able to see the little tiny piece of clear tape, that, you know, the lights and the glitter and everything, they'll kind of ignore it. So then coming up on the top, another little piece of tape. Continuing down, back on the center and the seam, taping that down, and then coming back to the bottom and taping it down. I'm in love with the centerpiece. It's a pain in the butt to make, but oh my God, so gorgeous. Okay, so now we're kind of crisscrossing it, so we're coming up the face of the balloon. Now, since we don't have a seam here, I'm not taping it here. It kind of hides better in the seam, so you want to make sure that you really have a good secure piece of tape up at the top there. Boy, that's an awkward way to do it. And I'm even going to put one more little piece of tape just to make extra certain. So this piece is going to be so far above people's heads, they won't see that. You can kind of see it maybe if you're looking up, but not that much. Okay, and then of course going back down here, and now you definitely want to, on the bottom, go be free, be a little bit free with that tape. And then you're going to have to kind of wrestle with the nozzle a little bit and kind of getting it. Okay, so now I want to put one more little piece of tape right there. All right, and now, for a moment, I'm gonna set this to the side. And I'm gonna take my quad of 11-inch balloons, underinflated 11-inch balloons, and just put them down on the base. And then I'm gonna take 2 random size quads of 5-inch balloons, and I'm taking a third of a 160, and I'm tying it to the nozzle. And I know this is hard to see. We're doing it on a cell phone because, we're in the field. I don't have my 3 camera crew here. Okay, and then on the other side of that 160, I'm gonna tie the nozzle from the other quad. Just like that, and then basically you're just kind of like wrapping it around. Like kind of figure 8ing it onto the balloons, and it just kind of makes that little fluff, I guess, organic fluff. Okay, now your smaller quad, this is where it starts to get a little bit grouchy and a little bit uncomfortable to do this, but basically this smaller quad, we need to get really up on the neck of this thing, okay, because this quad here, and you see I'm holding this to keep it from tangling in the quad, this quad here is what's going to stabilize it on the pole, okay? So we're gonna kind of put it like that. And you see we have like all these different blue tones. We've gone for a lot of different colors. And then at the very end, like right here, it probably needs a balloon added. So at the very end, we'll go ahead and manicure it all and make it look good. Okay, so now this basically, here, let me do it towards you instead of me. Basically, I'm just kind of just wrapping this around the pole like that, okay? And then I'll fix the shape and manicure it in a little bit. So you want to make sure that you really get this, and you see that we have an 11-inch balloon over the top of the pole here, because we're really going to have that pole right up against the bubble. So we want to make sure that we don't have anything sharp. But anyway, so you see it's kind of like a little bit tricky to get this on and get it stabilized, and then to kind of pull it into this garland. And this was inspired, I was kind of thinking of this design for this particular event, and then when I went to World Balloon Convention, Ann McGovern had a similar design. I don't know that it was exactly the same, but it was kind of a similar style for the centerpieces for the final night gala. So we'll say that it's inspired by her. So here's the tough part, because you want this on so it's stable, but not so close to the top that it's gonna pop off. Okay, and now I'm gonna bring this back up now that I'm not working completely above my head anymore. All right, so for now, we want to kind of arrange this, and I have here some sticky tabs in my pocket. And remember, when you're working with sticky tabs, they need to be warm, so that's why you might want to hold them in your pocket until you're ready to use them. And so I'm just gonna take it and put it on one of these balloons towards the end, and hold it down for a second, make sure it gets a good, it's kind of melty and warm. And as much as possible, I can't do it down up there, I can't see it. Okay, as much as possible, you really want to try to stick it to the seam, because it's going to hide better there. like that, okay? And it's just one sticky tab on each side so that it's gonna hold it like that. And so it kind of cradles it, okay? And there are two, just wanna kind of attach to the seam, and then we can kind of manicure it, and then at the very end, we can go through and like, you know, really add in a couple of bubbles if we need to, or whatever. Okay, so now, being careful not to step all over it, as I am. Okay, so now we want to try to, you know, kind of use the ribbon and just kind of figure eight it around, like on both sides. And again, this is just adding that much more security to it and holding it in just that much more. Okay, and now with this, we do kind of want to get it a little bit up into the top, as you know, this part of the garland as well, being mindful of where your sticky tab is. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I think it would be really difficult to reclaim the lights from this because they're wire lights and they tangle, so I would definitely include them in the price and assume that every centerpiece you're going to have to get new lights. So now that we did that, now we don't have that much left on it, on this one. And so now we're just gonna kind of spiral it around the pole. And sometimes you're left with more, sometimes less. I don't know why. It just happens that way. They're probably all the same size, but I guess sometimes just, you know, it wraps differently or whatever. So now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of our sticky tabs and we're gonna put it on the bottom of this because we wanna put it on the base under the balloons. And we want to make sure that it just doesn't like fall if, you know, they're being moved around by the venue or whatever. And in this case, these centerpieces, this is actually a 2-day event, but there's a day in the middle. So we'll come back and change out the batteries, but these centerpieces are meant to last. And when I did a test of them, the lights, although we'll change out the batteries so that they have fresh lights, but when I did the test of them, the lights lasted like a week or something. I mean, obviously the first day was the best, and the bubble is, my test one, it's still full. It's still full, it's still like, the glitter is still holding the static, it's beautiful. Okay, so here we're gonna just go ahead and like tuck it in onto the, just kind of attach it to the base plate right there. And then the setting that I want it on, this one has different settings, and I want it on the jumpy light setting. All right, so there you go. Here we have a glitter and lights organic bubble centerpiece. I hope you like it. I think that this is actually probably one of my favorite things ever that I've ever done, and I'm super excited about it. So if you like it, make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you tell all your friends, tell them to tell all their friends, subscribe to my channel, tell everyone you know to subscribe to my channel, Sandy Balloon, in case you don't know where you are right now. And leave me a comment on what else you want to learn. I know you guys like these in the field videos, so I'll keep trying to make some more of these as I'm out and about and I can grab a few minutes here and there to shoot a quick video. Oh yeah, and go to Amazon and buy all my books. With that said, until next time, you ready? Okay. Go forth and balloonify!